All right.
Hey, everybody, we're here with a special episode. It's part of a new series that we're launching called Alpha Males. And we are ready to get started. So let's start the show.
All right. Let's go for
It's
it.
another episode of A Blind Guy.
His wife.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Corey, the talented blind guy.
And of course, I'm here too, Laquita Marie, the wife.
And we're here to introduce you to a part of our life as we are here on this channel to change the narrative of what you think it might mean to be normal.
Every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know how we do it, guys. Counting you down to the weekend.
From hump day to Friday.
Absolutely.
So today is a part of a special series that we're going to be working on called Alpha Males. But it's not what you think. Again, changing the narrative of normal. We're here today to change the narrative that you might have of what it means to be a fraternity brother or involved in the fraternity as we introduce you to some fabulous men from Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated. We're going to kick this series off with a very special guest. He's a health physicist for the Navy, and he is here today to share with you his experiences as an Alpha brother. We're going to bring him in to say hello.
All right.
Eric S.
Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. This is so cool to have you here today. I know that you're an Alpha. Look, we see right behind you, Alpha Phi Alpha. Is that what that stands for behind you?
Oh, yes, that is it. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Go ahead, hit the call for us. Hit the call.
Oh, 6.
Got to put that bass in your voice, see that? Well, we can't wait to talk to you about all the things that people might not know about the great work that Alpha Phi Alpha does as a fraternity, and how you as a member, how it's impacted your professional, your personal life, and it's even started a legacy for your family. We're going to talk to you about that later on, so we can't wait to hear from you. We're excited about it.
Can't wait.
All right, see you soon. All right. This is going to be good, Corey.
Now remember, this broadcast is supported by viewers like you. The way that you can support this broadcast is remembering to bum rush the button.
You know what to do, guys. Just hit the thumbs up button, and it means so much. It lets the algorithm know that you found this information impactful. Someone else might as well. All you have to do is give it a thumbs up. And you can also look at the ticker. Oh, wait, it moved so quickly, Corey. They couldn't see everyone listed there because, we do have new sponsors.
New sponsors in the house.
Yes.
New sponsors. So that's another way that you can join the home team. Be part of the Blind Guy His Wife home team by going to blindguyhiswife.com. You can be a sponsor. You can actually sponsor an episode, or what you can do is, if you just want to make a one-time donation, kind of like a super chat on a YouTube channel, you can actually click the green coffee cup. Click it. Ooh.
What's in that cup?
I got the silicone straw. Sorry. I thought I had another straw. So stir it up.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be clinking a whole lot there today. So guys, when you head over to blindguyhiswife.com, that's where you'll see this. Buy me a coffee, support the production, click the green coffee cup. So when you click that green coffee cup, it does open a widget. You can choose to support the stream with 1 coffee, 3 coffees, 5 coffees. Corey's been blind 25 years, so we're clicking 25. Actually, we're going to type in 25. You can do just that. And this way you can leave your name. You can say something nice. It shows how you're supporting the production, because this is like a virtual tip jar. Keep in mind that all proceeds go to our nonprofit organization, our parent organization, Atumpan Edutainment. You can scroll, see who else has recently bought coffees, and you can also scroll around and check out what's happening. We have new sponsors. We have sponsorship opportunities, so you can always see how that works. So right here, guys, we've got our returning champs, David and Christine Brooks.
Multi-episode sponsors. We want to thank David and Christine Brooks for their support of Blind Guy His Wife, their life.
And in loving memory of Mama Alimza High. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So head on over here, guys. That way you can also become a sponsor as well.
And if you're part of the Blind Guy, His Wife home team, and you want to show your ultimate fanhood, make sure you get what we call our home team jerseys.
Oh,
we
like
have
the shirts
merchandise.
the shirts we have on.
Right. You can get a Hump Day to Friday shirt. You can get one of our All the Way Live shirts, or you can get a WTF, Thursday, Friday, Weekend Countdown shirt. So you can be part of the home team, show your fandom, and once you purchase a t-shirt, take a picture and get posted on Instagram for us. We'd love to see those out there.
Absolutely. So there's a button right there that you can click to view the shop, and go right there to blindguyhiswife.com. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that. So Corey, we've got to
sneak at the plant-based treat.
Yeah, we've got to give them a sneak peek at today's plant-based treat. You know, we always end our show trying to get you guys to eat more fruits and vegetables. So let's go for it. This isn't like fruits and vegetables so much, Corey, but
whole grains.
Whole grains. Yeah, it does include whole grains, and it happens to be a favorite. So
oatmeal breakfast cookies.
That's it. Just a sneak peek. Let's get into it.
Today's special guest is a great friend of ours, and he's a man of many works and great works in the community. He's tall, dark, and handsome, and he is an excellent representative of what it means to be an alpha male. He's the lead dog in the community. He's the lead dog on his job. He's the lead dog in his house. Everybody in his house bows down when this alpha male voice.
We'll ask his wife. Okay, Corey.
This alpha male is none other than health physicist supervisor for the Navy and Alpha Phi Alpha member for life. It's time for today's featured guest, Black Ice himself, Eric S.
Good morning again. Good morning.
Hey, Black Ice. That's an interesting name. I'm almost scared to ask how you got that when you were online as a frat brother.
There is a backstory, very personal backstory to it.
We will leave those skeletons in the closet. But yeah, we are here. That's a real dope background you got, and it speaks to exactly what we want to talk about, which is 1906 Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity. Talk to about it, because people might hear they went to a gathering where alphas are gathering. They might hear somebody say 19, somebody answers 06. Can you explain the significance?
I don't think you're supposed to do the call, Corey, without being an alpha.
I had to give an example. Apologies to the Alpha brothers. I am not an alpha myself, but I did want to explain that a little bit.
Because Eric's face was like, bruh, no, cut it. I'm just saying, Corey, you can't see. Your eyes don't work. I'm just letting you know what I see on the screen. Maybe that's not what you were thinking, Eric, but you tell us about
the significance of those numbers.
Yes.
Definitely. So, the organization Alpha Phi Alpha began back in 1906. It was started on the campus of Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. There were 7 young men. We call them our jewel founders. They reached out in search of, they started off actually as a study group. They wanted to, if you think about it, African Americans on a predominantly white campus in search of bettering themselves, needing to figure out a way to make sure they get the best education possible. You use the resources around you, and what better way than to start a study group? Finding like-minded young men, they reached out and wanted to be like other organizations, and they took the steps necessary to start a fraternity. And from their steps, their actions, Alpha Phi Alpha was birthed.
Now, Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated is the oldest Black fraternity, college fraternity, if you want to call it that, in the history of the United States, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That question again?
I was saying Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, that's one of the oldest Black fraternities, Black Greek letter fraternities in the United States. Am I correct?
That is correct. yes. The first
So
Black Greek organization on the country.
So that's the reason why you have members like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Lionel Richie,
Thurgood Marshall, Jackie Robinson,
yeah, Congressman Bobby Scott,
Congress
Congressman,
Bobby
yeah.
Scott. Yep, a lot of great influential people have spanned across the decades now, centuries now, as great alpha representatives of Alpha Phi Alpha.
And
But
Cornell West, did we say him?
Cornell West is a great member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Now, people think of fraternities, they think about step shows, they think about party, and there's an element of that. But what is the truth about frat life and being a student?
I will tell you there's two sides to every coin. People see the fun and the parties, but there is work. We always say there's the work of alpha that has to be done. And that's a lot of times done behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Um, the
So
work,
you're
is done behind the scenes.
so you're saying the work is done behind the scenes, but here you are looking dapper in a suit. You got a background. This looks like you're having a good time. I mean, was this work or was this behind the, and you
That's the
winning
definition of black ice right there.
winning awards? I mean, so how does this work as far as are you guys just showing up, getting awards? What kind of work are you guys doing? Because I know that part of your work, you wind up traveling to get things in, as part of your being a part of your job. So when you're in college and you're on the line, you're not going to the conferences yet, or are you going to conferences already when you first pledge? How does that work?
So we do have and I'll tell you, so we do not have pledging process. We have an intake process. Pledging is illegal. Hazing is illegal. We have an intake process. Um Alpha Phi Alpha is a non-hazing organization. So for us, we do have a process that we take all of our young men through, be it college or graduate chapters. But it starts from that very moment. Even our college young men, they are required to go to these conferences. They start the work of Alpha at even the college level. They learn about the background workings of the organization. Um, they have chapter presidents, they have chapter vice presidents, they have treasurers, um, and so they still have business meetings that they have to conduct. All of these things are requirements as being a member of the fraternity.
And also, it's not just about like you said, to go against what people think about just party. There's academic rigor that's required of a fraternity person that's in a fraternity, right?
That is correct. Even to apply to become a member, the um, there are organizational GPA requirements, as well as standards, and then the chapters have their own individual standards that they like to impose. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you set a standard that you're keeping the chapter in a good stand, or a financial and a good academic standing, because you want people who are of good character and who are going to be able to um, maintain activity. They're going to be able to maintain a good work life balance. And if they've already shown that they can handle the academic rigors of being in college, handle the course workload, it shows that they've already on the steps towards some of the things that we look for in the characteristics of an alpha male.
Now, I'm not going to say any names. It was not the alphas. But I will tell my story about fraternity life. I when I was at college, I was at Old Dominion University, and I was what they call the old head because I was already in my 20s when I enrolled because I had lost my sight and I had to kind of reboot my life to figure out what I want to do. But while I
You
was
also were already in school, so then you had to stop, go to the Center for the Blind to learn how to work your talking software and all of those things, and then go back to school. So all of that was part of the reboot.
right, that was part of the reboot, and just by force of nature, I said force of nature because not being able to see, I had to be extra diligent with my schoolwork. So I was carrying a 4.0 grade point average until the next to last semester before I graduated. When this one rigor of a professor gave me an A minus and dropped me down to 3.99, but that's a whole nother story. I'm talking
What
about.
does that have to do with
I'm taking it back. I just had to get it out. But at the time, I had a 4.0, and this one fraternity approached me about joining. Oh yes, you're the exact kind of brother that we want in our fraternity, and blah blah blah. And they were like, we're gonna waive the dues and everything. I said, wait. Now, I don't. I look like the typical frat boy. I'm an old head, fat and bald. I'm like,
you
I'm
were not
not.
fat and bald, but anyway, you
I'm,
still got hair. So
I'm
how
not. I was bald. I had to cut it off, man. I'm like, okay, my hairline is receding in. But
oh,
I'm
okay.
like, I don't think I'm cut out for this. Oh, you perfect. You're perfect for this. And I'm like, well, okay, but you're gonna waive those expensive dues. Yeah, we're gonna waive them. I said, why me? And then the guy said, well, you have the excellent academic standing. And
Ah,
then I said, your fraternity is on academic probation. And he's like, yeah. I said, oh, so I was just going to go just get elevated to that role of an officer or something to be. He's like, I said, well, you know what? I don't think that's for me. I have the greatest fraternity of all. I'm already part of. It's called Me, Find Me.
you know what? So let me ask you this then, because from what Corey is saying, you have where from what you're saying, the alphas require educational rigor. We need y'all to stay on top of your game. And then also for the alphas, like you're saying, y'all are creating better men for society so that when you get out there in the workforce, you can do your thing. So how has this impacted you in your work life? Because I know that you're always presenting, you're always traveling for work, you're always being chosen. Is it because you were in college, staying on your grades like Corey was doing, or just because the alphas built you up in different ways as well? Why is it that you have this excellence out here in the workforce?
I think Alpha has definitely played a key role in um, the successes that I've had in my career, even in my job right now. Again, one of our mottos is the making of better men. Some of the characteristics we do come with some of those already. I think it did start from my upbringing, but I think enhanced a lot of those things that I already had. Work ethic and things like that were already instilled in me growing up, but um, it's just a level of professionalism and requirements to want to be better. Timeliness. I'm a stickler for being on time for things like those type things like were instilled into me. Um, Wanting to be a leader, wanting to be first, wanting to take charge of things and make sure that situations are proper. I think Alpha
Mhm.
helped to enhance all of those.
So then, right here with this display, the Norfolk Naval Shipyard, this is your place of employment. This display here, you were out working offsite to represent the Norfolk Naval Shipyard. Were you chosen by your workmates, or did you just present as a leader and they said, "Yep, send Eric"? How does that work?
Um, no, so I partnered with the outreach department for the shipyard, and
Mm.
I've done this several times. I've gone out to local elementary schools just to talk about careers within the shipyard, which requires knowledge and some understanding about the different shipyard trades and skills that are offered, for positions that are offered in the shipyard. Uh,
And
Again, you get the
your position at the shipyard, Corey said in your introduction, you're a physicist.
Health physicist supervisor in the for the
yeah,
Navy.
yeah, I'm a supervisory health physicist for the Navy. Yes, I teach radiological controls.
Mm.
So basically, what he's doing is making sure that
They turn the knobs right.
the radiation on the ship is under control. There are no leakages of radiation and no exposure to the employees or the sailors on the ships. Is that correct?
Yes, we teach radiation and contamination controls with for sailors and for civilians. Yes.
So, okay, so I had it right too, making sure they turn the knobs right. Okay.
Did I do this right?
I know, right?
Mr. Eric, did I do this right, Mr. Eric?
People fainting, passing out, everything. So here's the thing, like you said, your job, you're in charge of some real deal. It's not just about you taking guesses. You are really in charge of some things. Now I show you here with this shirt on that says big. It's not just because you're a big guy. That stands for Blacks in Government Region 3 is what it says. So I know that this is another position, because you said the Alpha's motto is what? Creating better men?
Building better men.
Building better men. So how does that relate to this? Like, were you chosen for this? Did they say, look, Eric is the man, take Eric? Or do you present as a leadership and you are a go-getter, you go after opportunities that are there?
Again, this was another leadership position within the shipyard. This government, I was the chapter president for the Norfolk Naval Shipyard chapter of Blacks in Government. I came to the organization just as a general member. Not too long after, I ended up taking the position as the chapter president. This picture, I think, was at one of our training conferences, I believe in New Orleans. This may have been, I think this was New Orleans.
So if you're in New Orleans and you're going by way of your job, is the job taking care of all of the travel expenses, trip expenses? Is that how it works too?
The cigars, the hurricanes.
They are. They are. And it's not. This is not just a fun trip. These are training sessions, and we're going off. But on the return, there are trip reports that are required. So you have to come back and you have to give a detailed report of what was learned, what are you bringing back to the organization, how are you going to implement these things, and what was the benefit of them sending you off on this. So it's not a vacation. There are some requirements to come back and bring back how that trip benefited the organization.
So we've seen you, through the pictures that you've shown through the Blacks in Government and a lot of your community involvement, working with the shipyard, going out and doing STEM related activities in the career days. Now, the Alphas, you're still, even though you graduated, of course, you're in your career, but you're still active as an Alpha in the community, doing community service. What type of community service work do fraternities do out there in the community from the standpoint of being an Alpha male?
And you can tell us some of the different outreach that you do. And I also want you to touch on this picture here where you were working with the food bank. So outside of the food bank, what are some of the other impactful things that you all are doing?
Yeah, so definitely for me, I've been involved with quite a few different volunteer events. For the food bank is a major one for me. We partner with Southampton Rose Food Bank, and that's not only the Alphas. We also do that with Portsmouth Pan-Atlantic Council, and we have Adopt a Spot. We typically partner with the Oasis Ministry, where we are feeding the homeless. We do giving turkey giveaways. Um, we're out typically at the elementary schools. We're reading to the elementary schools. We've
So
partnered
you
with Portland's Library to read to the kids, and we're out as many community activities that we can.
Right. You guys are basically boots on the ground, then, from what you're saying, and you're getting people when they're at those ages where you can impact them, those learning ages when you're young, you're impressionable, and you can take in your surroundings and say, oh, wow, here's an alpha male talking to me. Maybe that's what I can be one day. This man came and he was reading, he had good diction, he was reading the words correctly. Definitely it wasn't Corey because no, I'm just kidding, Corey.
Yeah.
Let me say this then, because Corey, of course, you got boots on the ground as well. But with the food bank, now food is one of my favorite things. So were you all there packaging food? Like I know you said in different places when you partner with the Oasis or different homeless shelters and whatnot, you're feeding people that way. With the food bank, are you necessarily packaging boxes? Like I know that nowadays they have this thing where they will create a box and they will distribute those boxes to churches who can then redistribute them, or other organizations to redistribute. Is that what you all are doing, or are you going out to some of the businesses that donate food to the food bank, and are you bringing those things there? Are you helping with distribution in those ways? And I know that this picture here, you're like in the center. So what's your role with this group, and how do you determine what you're going to do for the food bank?
So for me, I am the food bank volunteer coordinator for the Portsmouth Panhellenic Council. I've
So
served in
wait
that
a
role.
minute. So basically, you the man. Is that what you're saying?
The food bank man.
Uh, uh, I'm just a man, not the man.
But you're the one organizing this. Like without you, because this is what you were saying about, okay, we are boots on the ground, but this is some of that organization you were talking about. These are some of the things, the structural elements.
That leadership that you get is cultivated by being in the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
Yes. Yeah, I love to organize this event. It's on me. Yeah, every year this time, we have a set month. I've organized this every year. I set it up. I'm the go-to person. Yes, I'm the leader for this event.
You the man.
Yeah, and speaking of being the man, there are lots of notable men that have come out of Alpha Phi Alpha. Some people might know of, some people might not. But let's talk about some of the notable names that you know of who are the man or the men of their era or in current times.
So, in current times, okay, because we're wrapping up soon, but we don't want to leave out the notable men. You mean like who, Corey? Who's in there?
Dr. Martin Luther King is one. And we got Thurgood Marshall, great civil rights activist, Jackie Robinson, and there are a few more that you can notable names that you can name, Eric.
Yes, Duke Ellington, W.E.B. Du Bois, yes, Paul Robeson. Yeah, we mentioned Lionel Richie earlier, I think.
Jackie Robinson, I think too.
Yes. So I mean, just all different types of arenas. We have local, on every type of arena. I'll tell you some of the key people that you wouldn't even think of. Some of our first. I first got into the area, and like one of the first people that I met and ran into. Chapter brother ended up being a chapter brother of mine. His name is Earl Mabry. Very, very funny story. He was my apprentice teacher at the shipyard when I was in the apprentice program, and he taught for Tidewater Community College. Ended up being the person I met his wife who introduced me to my wife. Had no clue that he was an brother. I mean, we're just like 6 degrees of separation type deal. You never
Right.
know who you're into type thing.
And to this day, you never forget that fatal meeting, right?
You know what? His wife is wonderful. His wife is marvelous. I've met her. I know of her.
But yeah, we kind of put step on the gas a little bit so we can get so we don't want to keep you too long. I know you're busy. Let's talk about some of the benefits of being a postgraduate, the benefits of being part of Alpha Phi Alpha, and then we want to talk about how you create. It's a family affair for you guys, for you with your son being involved in the fraternity as well.
So when we say the benefits of brotherhood, does that mean that? I mean, based off
you got your story, your benefit of brotherhood, you got a wife.
Yeah, it's those connections, it sounds like. And then, of course, it sounds like we can be a musician like Lionel Richie. It sounds like we can be a congressman like Bobby Scott, Jackie Robinson, Paul Robeson. I mean, it sounds like the place to be if you up and coming, and then they push you up. Or does it work in the opposite direction? Whereas I don't know. You tell us, Eric.
We need to backtrack a little bit. We've been saying Bobby Scott, but it's Don Scott, right, Eric?
I'm making up people.
So I'll tell you for me, some benefits, true benefits of brotherhood.
Getting out of speeding tickets.
Yeah.
I said getting out of, because I need that. That's the main one I always hear. Getting out of speeding tickets. Like y'all do a certain hand signal and they're like, all right, bro, But anyway, okay, tell us the true benefits. We want the truth. We can handle the truth.
One of the true benefits for me is the impact that I have made on lives. You asked about the community service piece, but my fraternity in particular, we give scholarships to African American males who are graduating from high school. To know that we have an impact on some young men who may not even have been able to finish college, or the next generation of leaders that are going off into society. That's huge for me to know that I had a role in making the next generational leaders. That's a big impact for me right there. And so our organization, we definitely do those things, but there are some benefits of brotherhood, to know that I've got a man that I may meet that I had never met before, but we have kinship because of a like process that we went through, and we share some experiences, and so it's almost like we've known each other for years. And I've had brothers that tell me, hey, when you come into town, come see me, come stay with me. You don't even have to go to a hotel, just come to my house, that type deal, and I'll show you around, and you get the benefits of like the inside scoop of areas and that type thing, just from 3 letters, and people think it's that, but it's a deeper, it's a bond. It's a true brotherhood.
Wow. Now, I had the picture of you presenting at a school. I know, like you said, that you are, always out there, boots on the ground, and you've had the opportunity to say, look, we need to make a change in these young folks' lives. But there was another time when you were the young folks, there was an event, and you got to sit here next to Miss Dorothy Steele from the movie Black Panther. And you were the one young person being impacted at that time.
Yes.
What was that like? Was that benefits of brotherhood, or was that just benefits of, hey, this is cool, this is in my area, somebody I know is organizing it, aka Corey?
That's benefits of, it is benefits of not brotherhood, but benefits of him, extension of benefits of brotherhood, because he actually was there volunteering.
Oh, that's
He was
true.
volunteering. He actually was the providing music for us for the event that night, and
Mm-hmm.
he volunteered to do that. So it was an extension of his volunteer work.
Absolutely.
That was exactly, and there was a benefit from that, just to be in her presence. It was almost like I was home. I was around family, and it was just like it was a great time just to get to meet and talk with her, and she was just so personable, and she just treated me just like we had known each other for years.
Yeah, she was cool because she acted like a normal person. And she wasn't like a grandma, great grandma, like, baby, give me that.
Yeah.
She was, nah, she was trash talking.
And I'm gonna tell you what she said. I know it was one time me and you had talked to her, and then another brother that was there talked to her. She said, "Corey, you know I'm too old to be around all this deep chocolate."
Yes, that is her all the way. So this is the final thing we're going to ask you about, because I know this one is near and dear to your heart, and that is related to the impact that this has had for you with your family. Because in addition to presenting at different schools and impacting other people's families, you and your son have made it a family affair. Is he also an alpha? Because I know you said he was a delegate at this conference in the picture. So is he also an alpha?
Yes, he is. Actually, he joined in 2018. Yes.
Ah.
And it's funny, when you can say that your child looks at you and sees something in you, and they want to emulate you, then it makes you feel like you've done something right.
Mm,
um any child or any father who, when their child says, I want to be like my dad, then
mhm,
that makes you stick your chest out a little bit more, and it makes you feel like, and then on top of being in an organization, and to know that the things that the organization put into you, and that your child says that not only do I want to be like my dad, but I want to be an alpha like my dad, it just lets you
mm.
feel like I did some good things, and my child sees those good things, and they want to follow in my path. So it's definitely a good feeling.
Right.
I got a question. How far through the flow would you have fell if he had chose another Greek letter organization? I'm not even gonna say the names, but you know which one I'm talking about.
So he was given some strict instructions that whatever he chose to do, that he just needed to make sure that he put his heart into it. I would never force him to follow and what I did, but he just needed to put his heart into it. And I'm really glad that he chose Alpha. He's a graphic designer. Actually,
Mhm.
he created this poster that's behind me.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Well, that's another proud moment. So this is just great because I know that earlier when we showed this photo, it showed that you won this award in 2017. Your leadership skills came into play. You won this award. And then the very next year is when your son officially uh, made that decision for himself in 2018 to be an alpha. And the love just keeps going. I know in the picture you said you all were in Vegas, well, where you and your son were together, where you were teaching him how to gamble. What you shooting dice, Court?
Yes.
What?
4-1 for the 4-1.
So this is great because it truly is a family affair. This has been great talking with you, but
Gotta
we
ask you that last question.
we do. We have one last question. Now, we have had the website for the Alpha scrolling the whole time. I'll make sure I drop it in the chat during this premiere, which is apa1906.net.
And it's not too late for you to join. If you want to join the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, and you're out of college, you're old head like me, you can go ahead and apply. Not guaranteed you're gonna get in. You still gotta meet some requirements, but this is where you can go to apply and to get into that brotherhood.
Absolutely. Scroll right there and it shows you membership. You can just click right there on the button. It'll show you what to do. So we have one final question for you before we say goodbye.
Eric, you are a Toastmaster. You well-spoken gentleman. You are a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated Fraternity. You're a proud father. You're a proud husband. You are a proud...
And he's a proud son, grandson, great-grandson. You've made your fathers proud.
You are all that and a bag of chips.
So let's hope that you can make us proud today.
Are you a man that can say he's eaten any fruits and vegetables today? And if so, how many?
Yeah, which ones have you had today? What fruits and vegetables have you had today?
I've had strawberries and blueberries with my Greek yogurt this morning for breakfast. And I had Brussels sprouts with my dinner.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And the dinner, the main entree is pig feet, right?
You know what?
We have been on Mediterranean diets. So we started this week. So we had Brussels sprouts and shrimp.
Got it.
All right, Brussels sprouts. So getting those fruits and vegetables in. Well, Eric, it's been a pleasure talking to you, having you to come on and again change that narrative of what people think it means to be part of a fraternity and showing what it means to be a real alpha male in both senses, in all senses of the word. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you to hang out with us for a moment. So this broadcast is over with, and we'll talk to you then as we share with you one of Chef LaQuita Marie's plant-based treats.
All right, Eric, we'll see you soon, okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, take care. All right, Corey.
And now it's time for today's plant-based treat by Chef LaQuita Marie. Oatmeal breakfast cookies.
We're going to get these breakfast cookies started with 2 cups of oats, half a cup of sunflower butter. Chemicals in sunflower seeds stop the growth of cancer cells, helping to fight colon, prostate, and breast cancer. Blended the bananas and the dates. So I'm going to pour out what looks like about 3 bananas, I should say.
You could just use 3 bananas, but we added dates because they're natural sweeteners that are rich in fiber and high in iron.
It does regulate blood sugar. So I'm going to pour this onto the spoon so I can get about a teaspoon of cinnamon. I have about a half cup of nuts that I'm adding there. A whole cup of nuts.
Walnuts are a great source of fiber. They promote heart health and provide antioxidants that fight dementia.
Pop it down onto the baking sheet like that. All right, so we just flatten these out a little bit. We're going to pop them in the oven.
Bake on 350 for 7 to 9 minutes.
It tastes delicious. Corey, here, taste this.
It's just right for breakfast. You got the right amount of sweetness. The nuts make it really crunchy and give you a lot of different textures. It's good. It's a good breakfast treat.
To me, these look like dog food, so I made a quick chocolate sauce with cacao powder.
It's actually really good.
They're actually really good.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us on this special episode of the Alpha Male series.
You'll be hearing more from this series, guys. This is just the start. And of course, this one is a premiere, our first premiere.
So thank you for joining on this episode of A Blind Guy,
His Wife,
Their Life Live. Join us again as we introduce you to fabulous men from the Alpha Phi Alpha and Fraternity Incorporated. And we're going to say goodbye since I never pledged or joined any type of fraternity and I was in my own fraternity. I say, me fi me. You say, you fi you. Live broadcasting is what we do. Deuces.
Deuces.